Welcome to day 2. Congratulations after day 1. You might be a little sore. This workout's going to help you break up some of that soreness, but also activate everything and actually continue on your path to feeling and looking better. The first thing we're going to do, you see these objects around me. They're different objects. These could also be dumbbells. These could be bands. These could actually be done in a gym, but this is for you at home. If you're not comfortable leaving, not comfortable feeling you're going to get judged, this is perfect for you. The first thing we're going to do, you could hold any object. It could be a 5-pound dumbbell. It could be a book. It could be a rock. It could be a pillow. Okay? The first thing we're going to do is the first progression with a chair. I wouldn't suggest doing it to a couch because you'll sink in. You'll lose your curve. You'll sink into the couch and we'll do everything wrong. Find something stiff to sit on. We're going to turn sideways. What we're going to do is if you have bad hips or you have hip pain, I want you to open your feet wide. And I want you to turn your feet outward. That opens up your hip canal. At the same time, if you can't do this with anything pushing out, I want you to grab something like a chair in front of you and work on pushing yourself back up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remember that posture. I'm going to tuck my head and I'm going to reach for something behind me exactly like a chair, okay? As I squat, I push out to work that thoracic mobility and strength. And the first thing I'm doing is pushing through my heels and my full foot, arrow going down, creating tension, squeezing, pushing up, and I'm imagining as I pull it in, I'm pushing out, there's an arrow going out. I'm trying to push as far as I can and pull it in hard as I can, push everything back out and squat. Now, if we feel good, you have 50 repetitions of this. If you feel good, what we're gonna do is we don't need a chair at all. We're gonna go ahead and squat. We can add tempo, we can add depth. I want you to squeeze your butt and push the ground away from you to create force through the body. You have 50 repetitions. If you have to break it into 50 sets of 1 rep, that's on you, that's okay, no judgment. Good job. Now again, you could use weight, you could use anything you want. The next thing we're about to do is we have 50 duffel bag upright rows. Grocery bag. Everyone has some sort of bag in their house that they can put objects in to make it weigh more, okay? Any person could do this. It could be a roll of paper towels inside a bag. Here's a duffel bag. This probably weighs about 20 pounds right now. What we're gonna do, we're gonna have both hands overhand. We're gonna touch our thumbs together. Go ahead and turn sideways. The biggest thing I don't wanna do is let this object come away from the body because it puts tension on the lower back and the upper back. I don't want that at all. What I want to do is I want to drive all the way up, elbows high, all the way down. This is graphic, but it's funny. I want to imagine if you're giving yourself a front wedgie, this is what it would look like. I'm not going to come away from my body at all. I'm going to pull everything as close as I can and scrape my body. We're working the shoulders, we're working the traps, we're working the middle of the back. You have 50 repetitions. Pull as hard as you can, create tension, control the way down. What I don't want you to do is just let it drop. That's when things could go wrong. Control every inch of the movement and own the movement. 50 repetitions. All right. The next thing we have, building off the glute bridge on day 1, very similar. So go ahead and lay down. If you feel more advanced, if you're feeling froggy, we're going to have an elevated surface. This could be a chair, a bench, a couch, anything. You'll be elevating your feet to this. This is for progression of day 1. This is for people who don't understand what's going on and feel like they want to actually make progress every day versus going ahead and jumping ahead of the program. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk my feet out to about a 45-degree angle. If you can, I'm going to pull my toes up as hard as I can in the air and I'm going to push through my glutes again. Now, what you're going to feel with the angle of the leg, I'm targeting the hamstring more than I am the glute. They're both interconnected as well as the back of the knee, so this will help with some knee pain. This will help with lower back pain. What we're doing is I'm squeezing, creating tension. As you can see, it's not easy. She's starting to shake. I'm putting tension down in the ground. There's only one muscle and it's in the back of your hamstring and your knee. This is actually how we can alleviate some knee pain and some fluid release. We're gonna hold for 1 minute. Now, this could be, go ahead and drop. This could be in 4 to 5 second increments. Doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is get and build our resiliency to hold for 1 minute total. Now again, what I recommend is 5 sets of 10 reps on your first day, or continue to break that down however you want, or go max effort on set 1, take your time in between, then break it up so you don't fatigue. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on hip pain. In the middle, outside into that QL, and also balance and proprioception, which is very important for people who haven't moved in a long time. I'm gonna hold on, and again, I can have a chair just like this, or I can have two chairs on both sides. I'm gonna lift one leg up. I'm gonna lock it out straight. If you have to put your hand on something to support yourself, you are, but you're creating tension through that object. What I'm gonna do now is I have 30 repetitions each way. Clockwise 30 reps, go ahead. We don't want the knee to bend. If we can, we're gonna take that chair away. You're gonna feel it in your glutes, you're gonna feel it in your hips, you're gonna feel it in your back. Go ahead and turn sideways. So lock this foot into the ground. Go ahead and raise up. Now again, as you see from the side, I don't want you guys to be leaning back. I want you to hold that posture and lock that glute into the ground. You have 30 repetitions each way. Proprioception is called spatial, it's also known as spatial awareness. Your ability to perceive where you are in space. If your balance lacks, you have to actually work on it. It's not just gonna pop back into your head by standing on a balance ball at physical therapy. You have to do the work. Remember, you heal you, not anyone else. 30 reps and we're gonna switch. We have clockwise and counterclockwise, 30 repetitions, rest in between where you need, all right? Now back to day one, right after that. We're gonna lay down on our stomach again. And now instead of 50, we have 60 cross crawls or Supermans. We're gonna rotate our thumbs up again. Again, arrows both ways. Chin and head relaxed into the ground, relieving tension from that upper back. And I'm gonna go ahead and do cross crawls. Again, squeezing the butt, squeezing the back, and creating arrows and tension, opposite directions in the body. The lower back will start to loosen up, the upper back will start to loosen up, and I'll actually gain mobility by creating tension. We're not gonna stretch all the time, but what we're doing is if we can track the muscles in a new pattern, you actually gain range of motion. Okay? Good. Stand up, baby. The next exercise, what we're gonna do, same object. What I want you to do is put more weight in that duffel bag or that grocery bag or a book bag than you had on your first one. We're gonna do a duffel bag row. So both hands. Now, we're gonna spread our legs as wide as we can. Big wide base. What I'm gonna do, if your wife or your bag is shorter, we're gonna grab further up on the handle. I'm gonna let my butt draw back. We'll go sideways too. Now my arms are gonna go all the way down, and I'm gonna pull with my back all the way up and go all the way down. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating length and I'm rounding my back, and then I'm pulling my back closed and pinching my back. So we're teaching the spine to move in both ways in a very healthy way. So go ahead and turn sideways. So what I want you guys to notice is when she is doing this, is I don't want her to lift up with her back where there's tension here. Again, what I want her to do is tuck her tailbone under herself again, create tension through those glutes. This is locked, nothing's moving, it's all in the back, and I'm squeezing as hard as I can. Hard as I can. Hard as I can. See the back, so go ahead and face backwards.
Like this way?
Yep. So what you'll see now is through the heels, drawing up, squeezing through this muscle right here, your rhomboids, your traps, rounding and protracting your back to stretch everything out, and then pull everything back in. We're gonna do 50 repetitions. 50 repetitions, break it up into 5 sets of 10, or even less than that. Now, the last thing we'll do after 50 reps, that last rep, we're gonna hold, turn sideways. We're gonna hold as long as possible. Now again, we'll have the pretty arrows on the screen. They are going up. There's tension. She's literally shaking right now. She's gonna hold as long as she can. That could be 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 30 seconds. It doesn't matter as long as you have a healthy amount of stress in your body. Go ahead and rest. The last thing we have, and one of my most important things, you don't have to use weight. You don't have to use an external object. But if you are in shape enough to do that, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick up an object. Again, same exact thing. Could be a pillow. What she's gonna do is she's gonna grab this, she's gonna put it in her hands, and she's gonna hold this overhead as high as you can. So we'll go to the side. What you'll see is she's gonna tuck her pelvis again, and she's gonna be gaining length through her erector. So if you have a really stiff, tight lower back, it's probably because your posture is here and all your weight is in your erectors versus tucking, and you'll feel your back literally loosen up immediately. So as I gain, I'm pushing as high as I can, as hard as I can. I'm gonna have tension through here, my glutes, my core, my serratus, all the way through my feet. I'm pushing as long as I can. I'm gonna try to hold this for 1 minute. If you can do it in 10-second increments, that's perfectly okay with me. Go ahead and rest. So if you can't hold it for 1 minute, while we're resting in between, we'll go back to that lovely wall and we'll do our calf raises, 20 to 30 reps while we're waiting to go back to if my back fatigue's out. If you can do 1 minute straight, you're gonna end this workout with 30 calf raises, getting strong from the ground up. Congratulations on day 2.